Today, we're talking about the uses of evidence. We're talking about the uses of evidence in our writing. The first question to think about before you start picking out what you're going to present in your writing is, what is the star of your paper? What's the star of your writing? You're thinking about it? You got some ideas? I can tell. All right. The star of your writing is your ideas. While you are going to incorporate evidence from a variety of sources in your writing, both in this class and in other classes in college and in other situations when you are writing at work, both now and in your future, it's always really important to remember that the star of your writing, the center, the most important thing in your work is your ideas. So we use evidence in our writing to help our audience see our ideas more fully, to demonstrate maybe how they work so we can help people, see our ideas in action more completely, give folks an opportunity to sort of think along with us rather than just have to accept what we say. All of which contributes to boosting your credibility, and there's so many other ways it does as well. But all of these things are happening to support the star of your work, which is your ideas. So all the evidence that you're going to use in your writing is there to support your own ideas. You are not having to reproduce other people's ideas that are not germane to your topic, that don't articulate you, that don't line up with your own ideas. So basically, the traditional uses of evidence in our writing are to exemplify, to articulate, to build on, and to critique. To exemplify means to offer examples, which is the best way to meet length requirements in papers, and also such an incredibly helpful thing to do for readers and audiences and power readers, because by offering examples, we answer questions that haven't yet been asked, like, wait, what do you mean? How does that work? But what about? Right? So when we offer examples from our own experience, the experience of others that we've imagined but are reasonable, from outside resources like articles or interviews, we are using evidence to exemplify. The second use of evidence that we're talking about today is using evidence to articulate. So that means using someone else's language to say your own idea, often an expert or another credible source. Here, when I read someone who has published a lot in composition studies, which is one of my professional fields, and is done a great deal of research, and I find that they agree with me about something that I'm really wanting to present in an article I'm writing, then I'm going to quote them in my own article because A, they've said my own idea way more beautifully than I'm going to say it, and B, because I'm borrowing a little of their credibility. I'm demonstrating that I'm a person who goes and does her research. I'm demonstrating that I'm a person who listens to other people and takes their perspectives into account. And I'm borrowing their credibility straight up as an expert or someone in my field. The third use of evidence and the fourth are super related. So the third use of evidence is offering evidence as an opportunity to build on it. So we're using someone else's language, ideas, or experience as the foundation from which we'll show our own ideas. So here we might say, here's how something works in grocery stores. And I'm showing you this through the experience that I've had, going to them and reading about them and so forth and so on. But then really the reason I'm offering that experience or that evidence about grocery stores is because I want to show how using the same approach to customer service could help my institution meet students' needs, right? So there I'm using someone else's experience, the work or the approach that someone else is using in a different field even, and I'm showing how that idea connects into my ideas about how to use it. So we can use evidence as a foundation to build my own ideas on. And then the last one we're talking about today is very similar to building on. It's an opportunity to open critique. So when we open critique, we offer someone else's insight, ideas, model, approach, whatever, as an opportunity to analyze what's not working about that idea. This is not a mean-spirited, unkind thing. This is just a perfectly reasonable, excellent way that ideas change and progress over time. For example, they've recently started to see in the field of teaching reading that one of the leading experts in sort of ways to teach reading over the last 20 or so years might have some serious limitations to it. So a lot of people are writing about that work now, and they're performing critique. They're saying, these were really great ideas. Here's the good stuff about it. But man, this new research does not bear out that it does a good job. And then they go through and they offer like really thoughtful point-by-point analysis of what's wrong with the original approach. So the uses of evidence: to exemplify, offer examples, to articulate my own ideas using the words of someone else, probably an expert, someone with more credibility than me, not necessarily, but not impossibly, as a foundation on which to build my own ideas, or as an opportunity to open an important critique.